knows about steps to solving angles question? Yes. For the what? Think about pressure stuck in your head. Yeah. Okay. Raise up your hand if you have completed page 144. Okay. Put down your hand if you feel that it was difficult. Okay. Great. Okay. We are 144. Okay. Now, didn't do optional is fine. You you tried at least 2 of these 3 questions. You did all. Okay. Very good. And you did all. You feel that it was pretty easy. Okay. That is great. Now, these are the slightly easier questions in a way, where you see likelihood they're using like 1 step to solve each. So I have 3. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because these are really the easier questions. Okay, so there are 3 straight lines here. Yeah, there are 3 straight lines here. And the one that you need to find is EOK here. Which at almost immediate instance you are able to see is this one here as well, because of the vertically opposite angle. To make it even clearer, I highlight the lines EOF and this one here JOK. So this is the X that gives you the vertically opposite angle. Angle EOK is equals to angle JOF because of vertically opposite angle are equal. So once you get that, so the same thing, I can say this is 35 degrees. Sorry, this is 41 degrees. And this is 35 degrees because of the same property. You gotta be careful, don't make mistake like what I just did. I quickly catch myself into that mistake. So the first one is, after I highlight the lines, I can try to help myself to see the X. So you see the vertically opposite angle. Then you see I cover the yellow. So I wrote 35, that's wrong. Okay, so this is one thing I need to highlight to you is that you have to look carefully at the lines and based on the information is given, then I can tell that this is 41. And then on the other side, yellow and orange, that's 35 in the same way. So in this case, 1 step solvable. So I can use the property of, this one is done, will therefore be equal to 180 degree minus 35 degrees minus 41 because this is angles on a straight line. Okay, and you make sure you have space to do the working. I can do it on my left here. Let me see. 180 degrees, I will do my plus first, minus 76. Okay, moving on. So the next one says AOB and COD. Now, AOB, then COD. Sorry, that is the X. These are the 2 straight lines. I find angle AOE, which is here. So, with the X here, I can already tell the vertically opposite angles. And then there's a right angle here being mentioned. This is 90 degrees. So here, I can already say that angle DOE is equals to 135 degrees because of vertically opposite angle. And then after that, I can already find angle AOE by using 135 minus 90. Here, quite straightforward, right? Please, if you have the same steps, then it's just left with the working that you regroup correctly. Okay, then the last one. Last one, EOH here. Now, in this question, it says EOH. Here, there's one very important point. If the yeah, acceptable. Come. Okay. Okay. One thing I need to mention is this: you cannot assume if it's not given in the question. For example, here, angle lines EOF, GOH, JOK are straight lines. These are given. Here, this question, there's no straight lines given. So you cannot say, oh, EOH is straight line. You know what I'm talking about? You cannot assume that it's straight line. Now, Ashley used a different method for the first one here, question 4. She used, what do you think is the property here? She used 360 minus this minus this. Okay, what is this? Angles at a point, right? So she used the property angles at a point. Is that acceptable? That is. Okay, because around a point is 360. So add up everything is 360. That's true. That's not an assumption. Okay. Then she said divide by 2. Why divide by 2? Is this an assumption? She's saying that these two are equal. It's valid. Why? Because of vertically opposite angle. But I would say this is extra step, no? You understand what I'm talking about? It's an extra step. I don't need to do that step. But also acceptable. You also get full marks for this. Okay? Okay. So this one shouldn't be too difficult. This will just be angles at a point. Sum of angles at a point is 360. So I just use angle EOH. I just use 360 minus everything else. Minus 45 minus 90 minus 60. Then you'll get the answer already. Are you okay? Then you do out the calculations. You should be getting it right unless you make some mistake in your workings. Okay, moving on. Now, can or not? Can Okay, I'm going to skip to page 146 to look at this question here. Okay, page 146. Okay, why did I want to focus on this question is because earlier on, I picked up a mistake that Misha did in her work, which is good. I feel that mistakes help us to learn. But of course, we hope that during exam time, we make less of mistakes. Okay, page 146, are you here? Okay, let's look at this diagram here. And one of the things that happens was that, can you look closely here? Can you find the angle? I cover. Can you find the angle WOU? WOU? Can you find? Can you find? Can you look for UOZ? Can you see UOZ? Can you see? Do you think these two look the same? They look the same. Do they look the same? They look the same, right? They look like they are same size. Agree? This one here. Okay, and this one here. They look like same size, right? Now, the question is, are they the same size? They look like the same size. Are they the same size? Yeah, that's a very important point. It's an illusion. Look, how do I decide whether it is equal or not? I go back to the question. If the question didn't tell you they are equal, you cannot assume that they are equal by looking at it. You cannot say, they look like they are the same, so they are equal. That's not correct. All right. So, however, when you look at this here, just the next page itself, AOE and AOC, AOC and AOE, it tells you already that it's equal. Then you can say they are equal. This question, they never say they are equal. You cannot assume that they are equal. They are actually not equal. How are they not equal? If you find out later through calculations, you'll realize that they are just 2 degrees different. So really, it looks like it's the same, but actually they are not the same. The best way is to really calculate it out. Use the information that is provided. Where are the straight lines? UOB here. 1. WOX here. And YOZ here. 3 colors here. Once I see the 3 colors, I try to block up to see if I find the X. Or I find the X already, I can recognize the vertically opposite well. The angles that I'm supposed to find, UOZ here. And UOY. UOY is an overlapping angle. Okay, now I work through them one by one. First, I can see this is 30, so the other side here is also 30. Vertically opposite. This is 73. So here is also 73. So if you calculate, you will realize this is not 73, it's actually 77. Just a few degrees apart. So they are not exactly the same. Okay, so with that, after I label already, more or less you can already see. So you have angle UOW is 73 degrees because of vertically opposite angle. So UOW. So angle UOY will be these two add up together. Yep. Plus 30 degrees. So I add these two because it's overlapping. Okay, now? Then after that, angle UOZ. UOZ. I use the property of angles on a straight line. 180 degrees minus 30 degrees minus 73 degrees. These angles on a straight line. Okay, who got the steps same as mine? Correct. Yeah, like it. Okay, never mind if you cannot do. It's okay. Okay? Because you got to do my homework to you is tip one, right? Yeah. If you did more than one, that's cool. If you did all of them, that's great. Yeah. If you didn't do anything, you vomit out all the lollipop now. You don't deserve it. Yeah. But please, the homework was one off. So at least try one question. Okay, was this okay? Okay, then we go on to this one here. This one. Okay. Now, This question is also a level 3 question because it involves what Nosin has started learning about the four-sided figures. So in this case, there's a square. But the knowledge from primary 4 is sufficient to help us to solve this. Because this is a square, we will know that if we cut the square into diagonal halves, you actually form an isosceles triangle. And this is a right angle, right angle. Here will be 45 degrees. Because it's a square. Because it's a square, so angle BCD will be a right angle. BCD. So angle ACD equals to 45 degrees because it's sharing that right angle. So with that labeled already, I see ACB is given is 45 degrees. So this is the one that I was talking about. Then I have ECF, that is 24, that's here. And then there's only one straight line mentioned. The only straight line that mentioned is ACE. Anything else is not a straight line. Okay, then you have X and Y. Actually, once you are able to figure out the angles surrounding the point, and then, whoops, sorry. And then you can identify the straight line. You can see what property to use? Angles on a straight line. 180 minus 45 minus 24 will give you angle X. Angles on a straight line. And the other side, the same thing. You can see? All right? Okay. Yeah. So first one, I can use angle of straight line and find X. So angle X. Don't forget the angle symbol, please. Angle X will be 180 degree minus 45 degree minus 24 degrees. Don't forget the degree symbol as well. Then after that, you solve. Is it okay? Then the last one, angle Y equals to, on the opposite side of the line, 180 degree minus 45. Is this okay? Okay? Okay, so with that, we have gone through almost all the questions now. I hope from the start of hearing jumbles of letters, it was complicated. I hope now you feel a little bit better. Okay? All right. So we have completed almost all the questions now. We are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 of them. Okay, these 4, you can try yourself first, then check the YouTube for the answers. Okay, the answers I'll put it up tomorrow. Okay, on Monday I want to collect this chapter. Is that okay? Can On Monday I would like to collect this chapter. Can? Okay, last page is optional. Tomorrow we'll do triangles. Okay? Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. See you later. Yes. If you can come back a bit earlier so that we can start at 2 o'clock on time to try out the exam paper. Okay? We will do a paper 1. Yeah. Why? Oh, yeah. What time?